Hey everybody, this is Big Ant, the Foulmouth Gamer here, and I just wanted to make a video to show you guys the difference between the Gaems cases. On the left here, I have the older G155, also known as the Sentry, I believe. And on the right, I have the newer G190, also known as the Vanguard. I think the Vanguard currently only comes in the Halo UNSC logo package. I don't think they make a different one yet. They did tell me that they do plan on making one later that won't have the Halo stuff on it, but they don't know when yet. Let's talk about some of the differences on the outside. As you can see, the newer one is larger, which is kind of surprising. I figured if anything, it maybe would have been wider since it has the 19-inch monitor and the older one has the 15-inch monitor, but surprisingly, it's actually taller. Another difference you might notice is the handle. The old one had the spring-loaded handle, which I thought was kind of cool. So when you weren't using it, it just kind of went back into the case. And the newer one has this new heavy-duty molded handle, and it's actually really sturdy, but it always kind of sticks out. So that's just a personal preference. I kind of liked it the old way better. The latches have changed a little, as you can see, not too much, but there's some slight differences there. I wouldn't say that the newer ones are better in any way. I mean, I never had any problems with the old ones, but they are different. And another thing, the newer Vanguard case does come with a strap as well, which is kind of nice. And of course, this one has the UNSC logo on it. So if you're carrying it around, you can throw it over your shoulder, and that's kind of a nice addition to it. So let's talk about some of the differences on the inside of the cases. One thing I did want to mention here real quick while I'm opening these is that the G155 opens fairly easily. However, I noticed that the Vanguard doesn't open very easily, and that's even with an Xbox in there holding the bottom down. It still isn't quite as easy to open as the other one. Looking on the inside, we can see that the most obvious difference, of course, is in the monitors, with the G155 having the 15-inch monitor on the left and the 19-inch monitor in the Vanguard case. The one on the left, the 15-inch, is kind of shiny. It's got a glossy finish, and the 19-inch has a nice matte finish to it. Another difference here real quick is with the pouches. They both still come with the pouches, of course, but as you can see, the older G155, the pouches had Velcro on them, and so when you put them in, you know, they would be securely held in place with the Velcro. The Vanguard case, however, doesn't have the Velcro anymore. I'm not really sure why. I mean, it's not really a deal breaker by any means or anything like that. It was just, I always kind of liked having the old ones Velcroed in place. I thought that was kind of nice, so I knew that they were nice and secure in there. Of course, both models will still hold either an Xbox or PS3. And that hasn't changed, even though this is the Halo one. It will still hold the PS3. I think just the Slim. I can't remember if the bigger one fits or not. Another difference here is the hinge. As you can see, they made some additions to the hinge here. On the Vanguard, it's got a new metal reinforcement plate on it. And the G155 is just, from what I could tell, all plastic. I don't think there's any metal inside there. One of the things that always bothered me about the G155 was I felt that the angle at which the monitor sat at when open kind of sat too far back, and I always kind of had to prop it up using some game cases and things like that, or just whatever I had laying around just to get a better viewing angle of the monitor. And the Sentry still kind of does that as well. I still feel that it sits back slightly too far. I mean, it's not as far back as the other one, but still just slightly. I'd like it right about there. Would have been perfect. So looking real quick at what comes with both of them, they both come with a power supply, obviously, and they both come with a small HDMI cable to allow you to plug the console right into the front of the monitors, which I always thought was a really nice touch, that the connection was right there. So they both come with a small HDMI cable for that purpose. The power supply on the older G155, I was never a fan of it. They use this, what we like to refer to sometimes as a wall wart, because you have the big piece that sticks right off of the wall outlet and connected right into the front of the monitor. The newer one, however, has a newer designed, kind of like a laptop power supply almost, I guess if you would. It's got the power brick and, of course, the power cable for it. So I kind of like that design a little bit better in the sense that it's not just hanging off the wall, and it's a little bit easier to manage and work with, and you can place it in different various areas and things like that. And the Vanguard also does come with a remote, and of course this one has the UNSC logo and stuff on it. But other than that, the accessories were the same really for the most part. The Halo one does come with some Halo stickers that I probably won't end up using. I don't really want to put a bunch of stickers on my brand new case, but I'm sure I'll figure out something to do with them. And here's a quick difference in the pouches, the accessory pouches. As you can see, the G155 here on the left pouch with the Velcro on the bottom is kind of cylindrical in shape. And of course, the newer one is just flat without any of the Velcro or anything like that. I do feel that this one's a little bit easier to work with. Even though it doesn't have the Velcro and things, it is easier for me to shove all my stuff into, like my controller, the power supply, and the different various accessories I carry around for my Xbox with me. So I thought that was kind of a nice touch. As far as which one is better, I guess it all comes down to personal preference. Money, of course, is a difference. The model on the left obviously is much cheaper. It does have the smaller monitor. The Vanguard on the right is more money and does include the larger monitor. Now, like I mentioned before, the guys at Gaems told me that they will be making a non-Halo themed Vanguard case later. I don't know if that means it'll be any cheaper because it won't have the Halo themed stuff on it. But usually when you see accessories like this, consoles, controllers, and things like that, more often than not, they usually do charge more to have these themed versions of them. So there's a slight chance the non-Halo version might be cheaper. That's not for sure. That's just my guess. But there could be a chance that it might be cheaper. And some of the other differences real quick I wanted to show you was the Velcro straps. In the G155, I never had a problem with them. I never thought that they weren't secure or anything like that. The straps were kind of held in place here with some metal buckles that were screwed into the plastic case here. And on the G155, they're held in place with the reinforced plastic membranes. But I mean, it's molded right into the case, and I don't think that it's any less secure or any less better than the other one. I think that they're pretty much equal, just different designs. But overall, that's the difference in the cases there. So this is just a quick video. Wanted to show you guys real quick the two models side by side and what you can expect from each one of them. Thanks for watching, guys.